Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to take a little look at the Leica SL. Is this an affordable option for you now? Are you interested in the L mount or in the, buying a Leica? Is this your first Leica more than likely? Or do you just want to pick up, are you an M10 user and you just kind of want to grab something different and you're looking to, diversify into a little, electronic viewfinder life? But this is going to be probably the cheapest option now between this and the Leica Q, I would say, but of course you're going to get much more of a camera for this, much more bang for your buck. You can grab these for around $2,000, in between $2,000 and $2,500 right now. I actually got mine for $2,000. Fantastic deal. It's almost looks, basically looks brand new. There's only one little speck on it where it just nicked something or sat on something, but nothing major. The Sigma, of course, the L mount Alliance, you now have plenty of options. So really lenses aren't really a factor anymore as opposed, for the pricing. So before, I wanted Leica SL when they were going for around $3,000, and you're looking at the lenses and I'm like, okay, $5,000 for a lens, that's a no-go, I can't do that. So now that they've come down in price and you have plenty of options, we have, of course, the Sigma 24-70, which on this camera fits really nice. This is not, it's a big setup. You need to be, you want to be a photographer with this. You're not out trying to hide. This is something that you are there to make sure everyone sees. So it's not a small compact camera, as you can tell, but really it's balanced, I would say, perfectly. Still almost back heavy, like the camera body feels really good with it. It's just a solid piece, if you're, Leica's, it's a solid piece of aluminum, very well built. There's really not much to say about that. It's kind of a, a known fact. Leica is probably the best build quality of any camera. But now with these new Sigma, L mount lenses, it's really an option now. It's if you want to get into the Leica system. I just ordered the Leica SL2S because the SL2 47 megapixels isn't really what I'm doing right now. I'm not a landscape photographer. I'm usually just out shooting some fashion in the street. And, sometimes the photos can go up to 1,000 in a shoot. No big deal. It's especially for an editorial, it's going to be 1,000 photos. You're shooting, seems like a lot, but if you're shooting 10 outfits, you're only getting 100 photos per outfit. That goes really fast. So when you start shooting a lot of fashion, you're doing a lot of outfit changings and a lot of different styles, the photos start to add up really fast, and the SL2 just wasn't going to be feasible with the 87 megabyte file sizes. I just couldn't do that right now. Just didn't make sense. So now upgrading to the SL2S, but the SL1 still is a great option. It's a fantastic price, $2,000, $2,200, around there. You can usually pick them up, especially if you're in the, if you're in Los Angeles, you're on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. There's definitely a few on there I've seen. I'll probably be selling this one, so if anyone wants one for $2,000, hit me up. But beautiful camera. We also have options, of course, I'm sure if you're keeping up with the Sigma and the L mount lenses and the E mount even, you do have compact options as well now. So if you just want a set of primes, these are fantastic. This is the 45 millimeter. I didn't get to shoot with it much. I don't own this one yet. I was just testing it out, making sure that I like, the build quality and how it feels. It, really shrinks the SL into a very, I wouldn't say small, but much more usable size if you're into, want to be a little more discreet, just want something you can kind of carry around. You do have options there now. As far as, comparing it to a Sony a7 III, of course, the technology, this was 2018, so the technology really changed a lot in these. This came out in 2015, so you really can't, try to compare these two. But as far coming from this, I shot this almost when it first came out. I pretty much picked one of these up, and I've had a bunch of them now. Filming with one now. These are my e-commerce work. So when I'm shooting all day, I need it charging. I need the camera. I don't want to change batteries every 5 minutes. So I just leave these USB-C. It charges while you tether. So you can leave it on all day long and the battery won't die. It does drain, but it's very slow. I've left it on for 5 hours straight, no problem. Didn't even barely lose a bar. So that's really why I love having that set up. So I kind of have my e-commerce and video cameras. But for the Leica, it really just hits home for me. Passion camera, it's all about passion and the feel, and I've always kind of been into that, unfortunately. Just kind of a sucker for, I guess the nicer built things in life. Of course, Apple and just anything minimalist, simple. I really enjoy it. but you know, it can't work for everything, especially in today's age. You kind of need some function over fashion as well. And of course the Leica Qs, they're going for around 2,000. So if you really just want something fixed, minimal lens, these are running about the same price. But just depends on if this is gonna be your backup camera, travel, everyday camera versus your do everything camera. 2015 technology is still fantastic. The EVF is still very good. It's very comparable to, you know, the Sony. They look a little different for something about it. The resolution's actually better on this one, but they look a little different. But it's just the camera systems. Screen on here is still very nice. The controls, everything is very nice, very smooth operation. Still a very fast camera, especially for 2015. As far as focusing goes, I would say it's closer to like a DSLR, or if you're familiar with the EOS R, the first generation, like right when it came out, it was, the face tracking was, you know, it's good if you're in good light, if you're up close to someone, it'll pick up the face no problem, and it tracks pretty well. Continuous, you know, you're not gonna be doing high intensity action shots, they're not gonna be running. You can do it, you can definitely capture it. I'm not a fast shooter anyway, I don't shoot continuous burst modes, so I do single point anyways, or single shot anyway. But on the Sony, you know, you can shoot pretty much, it's 99%, you're not gonna miss a shot. You could pretty much rely on it. Some people do, you know, shoot, recompose, but with these, the AFC, so this is continuous tracking, not continuous shooting mode. So with the continuous tracking, you can pretty much shoot with your eyes closed, and it's insane. Like, you can just shoot, especially all the new cameras are like that. Everything, the Canon, everything's, you know, it's changed so much, but even with this, it really makes you think, I guess. The dynamic range definitely isn't. The highlights are definitely not as good as the A7 III as well. You will blow the highlights fast, so shoot a little darker, maybe shoot for the shadows. Otherwise, position your models, you know, actually think about the photo. Don't just go out taking random photos. It's definitely helped slow me down and make me think a little more, plan my shots a little more, and really just kind of becoming a better photographer. I'm kind of shooting a little more of a naturalistic look because the colors coming out of this are so good. I'm going to put some pictures up kind of as we're going through this, that way you're not getting bored just looking at my face, so we can kind of go through the pictures and looking at the dynamic range and the colors, and these are very minimally edited. I just kind of adjust exposure, and you know, it's really not much to it. It's just such a beautiful camera to work with, especially the DNG files are really amazing. I got the Q first, and definitely a gateway camera. When people tell you, you know, if you get a Q, it's kind of a gateway to Leica. As soon as I started editing these files, I just love the colors. I love the way it was, just everything coming out of it was just so nice to, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a mental thing just because it's a Leica, I don't know. But I do enjoy it. So went on the search, got the SL. It's been an amazing experience. I really love the camera. There's, you know, I don't hate anything about it. Everything's still good. Battery life's fine. You know, it's just mostly, I need the USB-C because I do like to tether, especially now that they offer Capture One support. So I want to tether to my computer through USB-C, keeping it seamless, allowing the camera to charge. I believe it gives it power. I don't think it charges it while you're shooting, but I think it does the same as the Sony and allows you to have power while you're shooting. So just kind of small things like that are really why I upgraded. Otherwise, the camera really, you know, I'm shooting alongside the A7 III. I've gone back and forth a lot. You just have to focus more with the SL1, but still it's a fantastic camera. Even in 2020, going into 2021, still I get great shots, as you can tell. You know, you will miss a few if they're moving very fast, but other than that, it still locks on. It hits everything pretty sharp, you know, pretty perfectly. The Sigmas feel like a native lens. I've tested a few of the native lenses. Feels the exact same. Really just an all-around great camera. Great deals going on right now too. If you can find one for cheap, if you're in a, you know, a camera saturated market, you'll probably find one. Otherwise, maybe check, you know, it's gonna be hard to ship one, but you can test, you know, look on eBay maybe, but otherwise, you know, there's options out there now if you want to get into Leica and the L mount. It's kind of crazy. The S5, of course, same price, but if you're into Leica, you're gonna go for the Leica, and then you can start saving over the next year, you know, start saving for the next generation and planning ahead that way. That's kind of the way I've been doing it, buying, enjoying it. I make money, so it is a job. I make money, start saving up, and then upgrade to the next one when I can. And I'm glad I did it. I love the camera. The new one should be here this week. I'll start putting them against each other. That way you can kind of determine, hey, is this something I should buy now, or is it maybe something I should wait and just save and get the new one later? So I'll put out some videos this, you know, next weekend, kind of comparing the two, just the, you know, simplicity of using it, and the function, make sure all the menus, everything's kind of the same. There's a few things that are changed, but mostly I'm concerned with the focusing, the speed, and the low light, and that's kind of what I'm really aiming for. So we'll get back to you on those results. Otherwise, if you're into Leica and you're interested in getting into one, now is probably the best time. The technology is still there. It's still a great camera. There's nothing, nothing bad I can say. Don't just want to throw it away the second I get it, where it's just too old. Digital technology just ages a little faster now. But these are still, even 5 years later, still a great camera. So, hope you liked it. Hope you're interested in Leica as much as I am, because it's fun cameras to play with. And check back in a few days, and I'll give you another video whenever I get my new camera in, and we can start comparing the two. If you're interested, I can compare them to the A7 III as well. Kind of if you're trying to go the Sony route or L mount. Usually they're a little different. If you want one, you're probably not going to want the other, but hey, I did, just in case. So any comparisons you want to see, just put them down in the comments, and I'll try to get on that for the next video. That way I don't miss out on anything. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.